You now need to outline your work using whatever pen you've got available. I am using quite a thick liner pen because that's what I had. If all you've got is a biro, that's absolutely fine. You just need to work with what you've got. You might have to go over the lines a couple of times to get them as thick as you want them. It's really important that you keep looking at what you are doing and thinking about the lines that you want. So after I've gone over it in pen and then rubbed out all of my pencil lines, I go back in and adjust some of my shapes a little bit. I think it's really helpful to do rubbing out first before you do that.
Okay, so I've outlined it and I've rubbed out my pencil. I've still got a couple of little bits that are still on there. There we go. So there are a couple of things that I'm not happy with. I don't like this P. I don't think it's got enough of a shadow on it, so I'm going to just change that. And I'm also going to put, I think, quite a spiky star shape into behind the cloud, so that you've got a little bit more interest.
Because I'm drawing a new shape, I sketch it out in pencil first. And then I rubbed out the bits I didn't want because I decided that I wanted those rays to sit on top of the explosion that I was putting in. Then I went back in and thickened a few of my lines just to make it look a little bit more effective.
Okay, so now I've got this and I'm actually really happy with it. So I decided to keep these rays that I had before outside of the new splatter I put on the back. And I also went round and thickened up any lines that were facing downwards. So that's why there's no thicker lines up there. But if you remember when we talked about Lichtenstein and we've talked about pop art in general, they differ with the thickness of lines, so it makes sense that our title, which is inspired by pop art, would also take in some of those different ideas. So now my next step is to just rub out the rest of my pencil lines from this edition and then add colour. But I am just going to wait for a couple of seconds before, in fact I'm going to get my colours ready while I wait for my ink to dry, because the worst thing ever is when you start rubbing out and your ink isn't dry.